My dear, sweet Wellish family, I know for a fact that you spend way too much time inside of your head. You spend way too much time trying to fix yourself, trying to problem solve everything, trying to make meaning out of every little thing by raking through and combing through every facet of your life that you don't like. And you live your life on this constant mission to figure it all out so that you can just be happy. So one day life just clicks into place and it never falters again, and you just will be able to live peacefully. Speaking from experience, let me tell you why that just doesn't work. You can, first of all, literally rake through everything forever. And I'm picturing straitjacket vibes, dude. Like, I'm picturing insane asylum, okay? Like, if you think about really, like, you zoom out and you think about the way that your mind works and the way that you are constantly raking through every facet of everything to fix everything about you, it's like it's like a little insane, babe. Like, it's a little nuts. It's a little nuts, okay? It's a little straight jacket vibes, like doing the same thing over and over. And if I just do the thing and I get it done, then finally I will be good enough. It's like, it's a lot. And I hate to break it to you, but you're never going to find peace like that, okay? True strength isn't achieving a certain breaking point. It's not achieving like a certain end result. It's being brave enough to be able to like sit in the discomfort of not having it figured out, like being able to sit through the in progress phase and knowing that even though you're still in progress, you're still good enough right now, exactly as you are. You don't have to be perfect in order to feel good enough inside, that you are good enough, believe it or not, right now, exactly as you are. And at the end of the day, it's just not that serious. Like everything that we're trying to figure the fuck out constantly, it's just not that serious. Like life is what I'm talking about here. Like life in general is just not that serious, babe. Like the triggers that we're experiencing, not saying your triggers aren't serious, but like the that we're like looking for like this like sign and this meaning and like this revolutionary threshold moment that we cross when the reason I say the triggers thing is because I was talking to my sister the other night and she was like, it's just that simple. Like it's literally just as simple as being uncomfortable. That is like enough of a trigger to make a change in your life. And it was just like, oh yeah, like it doesn't have to be like some dramatic event that takes place. It could literally just be as simple as like, yeah, I just, don't feel super authentic and in alignment with myself right in this moment. Even if it's something as stupid and simple as like what you are wearing that day. I don't know. But it just doesn't work because our brains are just working on overdrive to convince us that we're doing the right thing, that like we're fixing the things in order to like do right by us. But you never actually ever feel the relief that we're trying to achieve by having that fix it goal. You don't get that relief unless you actually make the conscious choice to give yourself permission to feel peace. And that's why this episode is all about that compulsive, incessant need to fix yourself and why that doesn't work, so that you can start to shape your mind to be less of a battlefield and more of a sanctuary. This new understanding is going to help you actually finally see that you are good enough exactly as you are right now in this moment, just because you exist. It'll give you the clarity to step into your true power and to pursue your goals, which is what we're trying to do really at this season in our lives at the beginning of the year, and to take bold action and doing it in a very relaxed, peaceful mindset, in a relaxed, peaceful way, compared to feeling frantic or having to prove something or being hard on ourselves. You'll finally stop feeling like you're only going to be satiated through doing enough, and that you'll feel good enough when you reach a certain goal or you achieve a certain thing. And most importantly, because improvement is important, I'm not saying to not improve at all, but with this mentality, you'll be able to self improve as the most authentic, aligned version of you. If you find that Wellish is helpful for you, please make sure to rate and review the show. It really does help get the show out to more like minded people like you and I who need to live a little bit more Wellishly. And if you are somebody that is imperfect and just wants to finally feel good, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode of Wellish. I also think it would be really fun for us to like have a cute little community moment and we can talk about it in the comments. Like, I would love to know what you guys feel exhausted by constantly trying to self improve. Because honestly, at the end of the day, like, that's why we're here. You know what I mean? Like, because even this self improvement is trying to make us fix ourselves. And it's exhausting. I'm tired. I'm tired of constantly trying to figure everything out all of the time. So I want to know what's tiring the fuck out of you guys. I think we think different than a lot of the people that are in our lives. And so I don't think that there's any reason that we need to experience these heavy feelings alone. And we really, truly do have each other. So share it in the comments. We can support each other, be there for each other, and just make somebody else feel a little less alone. Okay, let's talk about the major, very first, like, big sticking point with the reason that we're constantly trying to fix ourselves. And that's because we're fully convinced that we're being helpful to us. Fixing yourself feels like progress. Like, we can convince ourselves that we're doing right by us because it feels like we're moving the needle forward, especially when we dress it up as self-improvement, because that is a good thing and you are looking into the things that would better you and make your life better and make you feel good about yourself, that we don't recognize it as a means of control. And that's fine until it becomes an unhealthy obsession. Like, obviously, we want control over our lives, especially because, as we know, it's been beaten into our head. The only thing we can control is ourselves. So, like, I'm a damn well fucking control myself while I can to like make the most out of this life, since I can't predict all of the other shit that goes on. But it's the problem lies when, again, it becomes this like unhealthy obsessive habit. Positive improvement comes from a place of self love. Like, it's you saying, I love myself so much that I want more for me, that I know that I'm capable of achieving more if I put my mind to it. I want a full life. I want things that make me happy. I want to live in alignment. And I like myself so much now that I know that I deserve to care for myself in the best way possible. And I like to do that through learning and growth. Where obsessive fixing slips into this place of I won't be safe, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not good enough, or I suck until I have achieved X thing. Working on yourself from a positive, healthy place is very much you living from your body. It's very much you embodying the things that you want to improve upon and doing that without judgment or harshness or being like your own worst critic. Where when it gets obsessive and unhealthy and you're moving into this like overly hyper critical fix it mode that we're talking about today, is when you're all up inside of your head. Like, you're not just embodying and moving through your life in a relaxed state, you're fully like in freak out, clogged brain mode. One way that I really find helpful to think about it, to recognize it quickly so that you can notice it out in your life, is that positive, healthy improvement is very quiet, and obsessive, unhealthy, fix-it mentality is very loud. Let's specifically talk about why it feels like you're helping yourself and why it's so addicting. The very first thing that comes to mind for me is that doing this fix it thing, like trying to fix everything constantly that you don't like, creates this illusion of safety. If you're working on yourself, your nervous system interprets it as good because you're preventing the thing, like whatever negative thing is floating around in your headspace. If you're at least working on it, you feel safer because you feel like you're doing something to prevent that thing from happening. And even if you can't prevent it, you're at least like doing something about it in general. Now, you might think like safety seems like a weird word. Like, I know that I'm safe, but I'm talking about your trauma. Okay? I'm talking about the fact that you are doing everything you can to avoid pain and you're convincing yourself that you're trying to help yourself thrive. Like you're going through the thing like you don't like think about it. You feel uncomfortable about something, you don't like something, and so you think, "Okay, well, I'm going to fix it essentially for lack of a better word at this exact moment to create a life that feels like thriving." But really, you're not working towards the thriving, even though you're convincing yourself you are. Bear with me through this, okay? I'm going to explain this further as the episode continues. But you might think that you're working towards thriving when really you're just avoiding pain. You're avoiding rejection. You're avoiding abandonment. You're avoiding whatever it is that caused you to get hurt in the past, disappointment, being let down by people. Like it doesn't have to be that serious. Maybe it is some intense trauma for you, but also maybe it's just a compilation of people fucking sucking and things just not going the way that you thought that they were going to go. And, things just don't look like how you thought they would. And you don't really understand why. And it's preventing you from feeling the hurt of that. So fixing it creates this internal security system because your brain has learned that if you can get in front of the problem, you can prevent yourself from getting hurt again. And if your brain works anything like mine, and if you're here, I'd be willing to bet it does, fixing yourself feels so damn good because it gives you clarity. Like it gives you a mission, it gives you a target to search for, a goal to complete. It gives you steps to follow, and all of that shit makes us feel like we're in control of what's happening, even if nothing actually changes. Like, which is what blows my mind. Like, even if nothing actually changes, it still provides us with the relief that we're looking for. Even if that relief is temporary, it provides it for us because it feels like we're working towards something. And then we just live in that cycle. We feel the pain, the discomfort, whatever. And again, when I say pain, discomfort, I'm not saying like an event has to happen. That is probably true. Like you probably get triggered by literally anything. The wind fucking blowing the wrong direction, you get triggered by, who cares, whatever. But you experience the discomfort and then you lean into this self-analysis mode, like figuring out why you said the thing, or you're beating yourself up for what you did, or that you're thinking about what you wish you had said instead, or how you could have handled something, whatever. Like you're doing this hyper self-analysis moment. And then you go into your problem solving mode. You're fixing. You think like, okay, this is what I need to heal. These are the things that I think about this. I have this from this childhood moment, especially like if you're a self-improvement person, and you probably are because you're watching this video, that like what to look for and to analyze, and that we know it's good to get to the bottom of the issue, to figure it out and to do all the things. So it's like, that's what we're doing. It's like we're headed into this like fix it mentality to try to get to the bottom of whatever it is so we can again prevent the pain point that's happening from coming up again. And then because we get to the bottom of it, because we decide, oh, okay, like this is what would fix it, this is what will help heal it, or maybe we have some sort of like breakthrough aha realization about whatever it is. I literally have those all the time, and it's because I do this. And again, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. Like it's good to have those realization moments. They feel good, but all it does is bring temporary relief. Like I have a breakthrough moment and then I have this temporary relief until I feel some sort of discomfort or pain again. And then I head back through that same cycle. And it's just a vicious repeating cycle that happens all the time. And a big problem with living like this is that this fixing is something that becomes like moralized. Like it's like we are identifying so heavily with whatever it is we're trying to fix. It's like if we're not improving, then suddenly that means we're lazy. Or if we're not learning, then suddenly that means you're failing. Or if you're struggling and you were doing good with this before, but now you're struggling again, or you fixed this other thing, but now you're struggling with this and I'm irritated about it. So like obviously now I must not be growing, or that something must be wrong in general because I feel upset about this type of thing. So I need to heal more or do more or do something else to fix it. I just gotta fix it. I gotta fix it. And let's just call it what it is. It's easier to fix yourself than to feel your feelings. Feeling your feelings is terrifying and it's vulnerable. And when we say that out loud from a place of logic, it does not feel like feeling your feelings would be that vulnerable or scary. Like it's just you who gives a fuck. But the number of things that we refuse to look in the face because it's so much more intimidating for whatever reason. I don't know. go somewhere else for that. Go somewhere else for the science behind why the fuck we can't feel our feelings. I'm just here to tell you it's vulnerable and it's harder than you logically think that it is to feel your feelings. So the easy solution is to turn around and to just try to fix it. And if your system isn't used to emotional safety, fucked. You're fucked. Because I swear to God, even, okay, how about this? Even if that emotional safety, like let's say you were emotionally safe in relationships or in your home life or whatever, but if you've spent all this time terrorizing yourself, hey, babe, you're not used to emotional safety within your own body. Hello? And now we're registering all this shit as pointless and out of control and weak and uncomfortable. So fixing becomes this beautiful little loophole that we can avoid feeling anything and still convince ourselves that we're healing. You know, another thing fixing does too is it postpones self acceptance, which is kind of like in the same vein as logically, it sounds like a relatively doable thing to do, or maybe you think you already do accept yourself and that I accept myself and I just want to improve myself. Like I accept the things about me, but I accept them and want to, make them better because I think I can make them better. I think I'm capable of more. And like that's beautiful and that's great. All power to you. You 100% should do that. But for someone who's lived in survival mode for so long, self acceptance can feel like if I stop fixing, I'll stop evolving. And if I stop evolving, then that means I'll fall behind. And if I fall behind, then that means that I'll never become the version of myself that I picture inside of my head. So then fixing doesn't just become like a simple action that you're telling yourself that you're doing, but instead it's protection against rest and stillness, because if you're still, God forbid, you could hear your thoughts, and it protects you from being seen as you really are, because God forbid anybody sees you for who you really are. That's terrifying. And fixing yourself, God, it just gives you so much hope. And hope is so powerful because it keeps that story alive. It allows you to tell yourself that even though you're not where you want to be yet, you're working on it and you're actively doing the things that are going to get you there. And that hope is motivating, but it has this like hidden message inside of it that says that you're not good enough until you earn good enough. Like it says you have to do the right things in order to get that result. And until you do the things, you won't earn that peace. Fixing feels like helping because it reduces your anxiety. It gives you something to do with the discomfort that you feel when the discomfort comes up. Like it gives that feeling a pathway. It gives you somewhere to put it. And if you're still not sure whether or not this is you, you could ask yourself this now, or you can ask yourself this out in life. Sometimes, you hear this and you think, yeah, maybe maybe I do that a little bit, but it's fine. It's not really that big of a deal. But then you're going to notice it. You're going to go out into the world and you're going to notice you starting to fix things. And this is the question to ask yourself that exposes whether or not you're doing this at an unhealthy level or a very grounded, positive, helpful level, is asking yourself, am I trying to fix this because I love myself? Or am I trying to fix this because I don't trust myself? Let me hold your hand when I tell you, you do not have to continue to live your life at war inside of your own mind. You deserve for your mind to not be a battlefield, but instead to be your sanctuary. You deserve your own body and your own mind to feel safe to come home to. You are the only one that has to live there. And when you keep your mind like a battlefield territory, you're not doing anything to help yourself except causing burnout and fear and insecurity, and literally nothing good comes from that. You're just breeding self-abandonment. You don't become worthy of having your mind be your sanctuary by like achieving a certain amount of things and then you get to feel peace. Like you have to feel the peace and then your life will be able to go where it needs to go where it wants to go, live in alignment. I think that when things go wrong in our life and we launch into the fix it mentality, it's because we feel like there's just like this moral failure that's taking place. Like that we're not who we want to be, we're not where we want to be, and we want to do everything in our power in order to develop the person that we know we're capable of becoming. And I think that that's beautiful. But the problem lies in the fact that being in progress and being messy are not things to be ashamed of. Like, it just means that this is just today. This is just the chapter of your life you're in. This is just this moment right now. It means you just operated at the level of knowledge that you had in that moment. And now that that moment's over and you're in the very next moment and you have more knowledge, you could operate differently. But you didn't have that knowledge when you operated that way at the time. You did the best you could at that time. And that's all there is to it. Those messy chapters contribute to the overall plot. Trust me, I'm a reader. Your girl loves to read. The story would not be the same without the messiness. Oh, great comparison if you like to watch reality TV. Who doesn't want to fucking see bitches fight on reality TV? I'm only there for reality TV for the drama. Like, if they're all getting along, I'm bored. Like, the messy parts make the story. But you don't get to your dream self by hating the version of you that you are right in this moment, who you are right now. Because if self-bullying worked, fuck, you'd be who you want to be. It hasn't worked so far. So why do we keep doing it? Something I really, really want you to wrap your head around is how fucking brave it is that no matter how much you attack yourself inside of your mind, you still keep showing up for you. You still keep trying for you. You still want the best for you. You literally never give up on yourself. And that is so badass, dude. Like, that is more than a lot of people can say. And you have been scared. You've been disappointed. You've been abandoned. You've been rejected. You've been let down. You've been hurt over and over again throughout your entire life in a number of ways, big and small. So your brain adapted by creating a survival mechanism that if you can perfect yourself, you can prevent pain. So sue you, okay? Yeah, we attack ourselves sometimes, okay? But it's for a reason. Like, you've developed that coping mechanism because bad shit has happened. That's okay. And it makes complete sense and you're totally valid. But at the end of the day, you don't give up on yourself. And that is something you need to recognize. But because you're living in this place of like not giving up on yourself, it can feel sometimes like peace could be complacency. Like, peace is like throwing in the towel and saying like, okay, I give up now, whatever. I just want to be happy. I just want to like go with the flow and not care about any of these things and not work on improving anymore. I'll just exist. But let me be so clear because I have felt all of these things. And so I just want it to be like beaten into your head that deciding to go the route of peace and to let go of the reins a little bit is not laziness. It's not denial. It's not settling. That's a huge one. It's not giving up. It's not you not caring anymore. It's you changing your life without destroying yourself in the process. And here's the thing, guys. Like, your mind has to be a sanctuary because the world sucks. Like, the outside world is gonna destroy you. The outside world will always disappoint you. Not to be like so negative right now, okay? Like, that sounds like so Debbie Downer, but like, let's be real. Bad shit happens constantly. People die, our cars get towed, friends ditch us, boyfriends break up with us, people get fired, whatever. Bad things out of our control happen constantly. So our mind has to be a sanctuary so that we have at least one place in this world that we don't have to be disappointed and humbled and rejected and abandoned, that we always have us there and we can feel good there. Because if your own mind also becomes a place that constantly attacks you, you're never going to be able to rest and heal and become the version of you that you want to be, that you're trying so hard to fix everything in order to become. You're not going to do that if your mind is a place of chaos. You deserve one place in the world that you don't feel like you're at war, and that place should be inside of you. You deserve sanctuary because you're not where you want to be yet. You need that safe place to come back to soothe yourself so that you can work hard in order to get to where you want to be. You're treating your current self like she's only valuable as a placeholder until you become this future you that you're envisioning inside of your mind. But that's not fair. That's she's you. She's not some made up imaginary person. Like that's you, babe. She's a whole person that deserves compassion and patience and love and understanding and kindness. Because this bitch now, this current version of you right now, she's the one surviving the shit. She's the one going through it. She's the one making the change and building the future and working hard and doing all of the things in order to become that future you. Don't you think that this version of you now deserves a little bit of encouragement and greatness and credit for the brunt work of becoming that future you? It's the you now that needs it. You deserve sanctuary in your mind because you're not where you want to be yet. You hear that when I say it again? When we put it in that context? Like, why would you punish her? The boundary that you would set with yourself in this scenario is that you're allowed to be honest with yourself and take accountability and self-evaluate and look yourself in the face and be brave enough to like identify what it is that you want to change and improve upon. But you don't have to be cruel. Peace isn't the reward. Peace is the tool that will help you create the life that you want. Peace is a motherfucking weapon because a sanctuary mind is goddamn powerful. It just doesn't work to be in this constant state of fixing, because when you can find peace and you can quiet your mind, you can actually hear your intuition and you start to make more aligned choices so you can show up as your authentic self and you make clear choices in the direction of where you want to go that way. And that is the realization that takes you from being this person that's constantly trying to fix themselves to someone who is inevitably going to be the person that they believe they can be. Peace is the internal advantage that allows you to build your dream self. Peace gives you that clarity because when you're panicked, you're just reacting to everything that's happening around you. That's why most people are building their lives from insecurity and shame and fear of being left behind and urgency and this hunger for validation. So all of their choices are so reactive to the world around them. But a peaceful person chooses, makes clear, decisive decisions from their heart and their aligned way of believing and thinking. They're not being forced into decisions by their heightened emotions or chasing worth or chasing these external outcomes. You get to move slow and relaxed and with this grounded self-trust. Peace makes you immune to what controls most people. And let me say the truth that nobody is really saying is that when you are dysregulated, you are controllable. That sounds really like aggressive and fucked up, but if you are dysregulated and you are triggered by everything, you are a more controllable person. When you're more emotionally unsteady, you're easier to manipulate by means of like breadcrumbing or attention or comparison or trends or anxiety or shoulds or external standards that have been set for you by society or by your family or by your friends or by an old version of yourself. It's like once you get into that fix it mode, your nervous system gets hijacked. And that's when you start doing dumb shit like texting the man that doesn't deserve your attention or buying things like food or anything like for the dopamine hit to fill and soothe that emptiness inside of you, or that you're chasing this glow up from a place of lack. Or you're spiraling because that one person didn't like your post, or you're staying with the job or in the friendship or in the relationship or around the toxic person out of fear. A person who's not driven by the need to fix themselves can still be tempted by those things, but they're not controlled by them. Like when you're peaceful, you're not spraying your energy everywhere. Like it makes you more precise. You stop over explaining and people pleasing and feeling you have to prove yourself and begging to be chosen, fixing what doesn't need to be fixed, starting 12 projects because if you just like accomplish something, then you'll feel good about yourself. And you start asking yourself pretty simple but powerful questions like, what matters to me? And what can I do today to move that needle forward just a little bit? What do I like actually want in life? Like, how do I truly internally define success for me? What would make me feel satiated in my overall life? And I think you would be surprised if you actually sat down and labeled those things instead of just like leaving them in the ether of your mind, because they're probably a lot more achievable than you think that they are. And when you do that, it stops this like frantic effort that has been taking over your mind this entire time, and it becomes more of this like clear, stable, clean effort. Something that messes me up a lot too is that I think that like when I'm in this fix it mentality, I'm operating based on bursts of motivation where peace makes you more consistent. You're not relying on the bursts of energy in order to like make any change happen. The peace brings momentum and rhythm to what you're doing in your day to day. I asked you guys on my Instagram what you felt exhausted by constantly trying to self improve. Same thing that we said we would talk about here in the comments today, that we could leave a comment about what we truly feel exhausted by constantly trying to self improve. And the answers that I got were pretty repetitive. People said things like, the dream body, of course, because we're all thinking about that right now. Our career, money was another one, confidence, relationships, like these things that we say that we want are not built through intensity and pressure and hustle culture. They're built through repetition. And that piece gives you the ability to show up even when things aren't exciting. And that's what separates you from most people, is not your level of capability, it's not your talent, but it's your ability to be stable. Something beautiful about creating that sanctuary like mind, that peace inside of your mind, instead of the frantic fix it mentality, as well as it is so magnetic to be around people that have this internal sanctuary. The most magnetic people are not the loudest in the room, they're the least needy people. When you're peaceful, you don't feel like you need to convince or prove or chase or perform or compete. And that energy is so intoxicating to people because you're radiating what everybody and their mother wants, which is safety within themselves. Peace is the one thing that makes your standards real, because you can sit here and say that you have all of these standards, but then the moment you get triggered by something, you're suddenly self-abandoning. We set the standard, but then we feel like we will just take whatever we can get when something even just a little bit remotely good comes up, when our mind is such a place of chaos. Real peace is what allows you to say no and to say the things that don't work for you honestly and openly about it without being afraid about how other people will perceive you. And it allows you to be on your own because you would rather just be by yourself than be mischosen by people out in the world and need to rely on that in order to feel satiated. If you can find that peace within your body, that sanctuary in your body, it's like it just radiates this unshakable self-respect. Like that at the end of the day is what it is. You respect yourself so intensely that you have this peace inside of you, this unshakable presence inside of you. And that's how you become unstoppable, because your energy isn't just fucking leaking all over the place. You stop bleeding yourself out through rumination and overthinking and self-hatred and constantly processing and obsessively self-analyzing and constantly trying to find the perfect version of you. So suddenly, believe it or not, magically, you have the energy to enjoy your life, to live a life in alignment with how you actually want to live, to make sure that you're living a full, enjoyable life. And then you spend that energy creating and executing and building and becoming the person you want to become, that you've been trying to fix yourself this whole time in order to try to be. And the truth is, most people do not fail because they're incapable. They fail because they are so fucking tired of trying to fight themselves constantly. Peace ends that civil war that's constantly happening inside of you. And if you can picture what you would be like if you weren't divided, can you literally even begin to imagine how powerful you would be? Like, think about that bitch. Like, think about the bitch inside of your head that's being a dick to you. If she could take that dick ass energy and turn it towards the world, if she could be that unstoppable and unrelenting and ruthless towards the things that you actually want to achieve, because that version of you has your back instead of working against you. Oh my God, she would be such a badass. She would be so incredible, so powerful. There is literally no way that you would not achieve the you that you want to be. I do want to make it obnoxiously clear that I am not saying the sanctuary is not some like walk on water version. Like, it is not some magical, perfect version. Let's not get into the fix it mentality there either. This isn't a permission for you to get into your perfectionist mentality. I am not saying that your mind looks like a sanctuary, perfectly peace, unshakable, unbothered, 24/7, 365. But let me tell you what it does look like. It looks like feeling the trigger, but not falling victim to it, not obeying the trigger and allowing it to control you. It looks like being disappointed and not completely collapsing. It looks like resting without feeling guilty about it. It looks like being alone and not falling into some rapid spiral. It's being able to be disciplined without self-hate. It's being able to let something just like be as it is, however it is, completely unfinished, messy, whatever, without self-abandoning. Peace isn't this passive thing that you're just like, oh, everything is, how it should be, and things are floaty and airy and good, and I don't have to worry about anything. No, it's just that it's regulated power. Peace is the ability to stay loyal to yourself no matter what the fuck life is doing. And if you consider yourself a loyal person, but you're sitting here constantly trying to fix yourself all of the time, you're being disloyal to you. If your peace cannot be taken, you cannot be controlled. And if you can't be controlled, you can literally build whatever you want out of this life. A peaceful person is not somebody with a perfect life. They're just a person that no longer chooses to negotiate and dance with the chaos that happens inside of the shitstorm of our brain. There's no rushing or panicking or begging. It's just building the version of you that you want to be. And you don't have to hustle and fight in order to be that person, because it's already been decided that you're going to be that person. Find the peace inside of your body and then work to achieve it. You have to regulate first and then work to achieve it. That's it for today's episode, guys. I hope it helped you recognize if you are living in this compulsive, incessant need to constantly fix everything and why that doesn't work, so that you can live a life that is so much less chaos and so much more peace and love and trust and stability. We have an interview on Wednesday, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And then make sure to follow Wellish both on Instagram and on TikTok at Wellish Podcast for all show updates and Wellish lifestyle living tips throughout your day-to-day life. I also do post listener questions weekly relevant to the episodes, so I can make sure that I'm curating the episode in a way that answers what you guys need to hear specifically. I love you endlessly, and you are so capable of achieving everything that you want to in this life. And I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.